Tested. This is the iPad. We have an iPad. I'm Will from Tested.
I'm Norm from Tested.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Hey, this is a white bezel.
That is a white bezel. So I got the iPad that I was least likely to buy, the 16 gigabyte white model. We have a couple of accessories. We have the black 32 gig here. There's a 3G one someplace around here, but we're in a basement, so it doesn't matter. We won't be able to test it anyway. Basically, we're here today. We're going to run through new stuff for the iPad 2. Okay. Compare it to iPad 1. Yep. Maybe take a little look at the Zoom. And you know, then take some questions. Lots and lots of questions. And we have the world premiere of something I spent all day Saturday working on. Ooh. Do you know what it is?
Yes, I do.
Chloe Bananas tests the iPad one more time.
So
I want people to know that's a big draw. Okay, so the first thing, my favorite thing about this is the case. So here's how it works.
Your favorite thing about the product is the accessory.
It's not
the actual product itself. That speaks.
Well, here's the thing.
Volumes about the product.
The product is, after spending a weekend testing it, I mean, it's too early to give a full review, but basically, it's the same as the iPad 1. It's a little bit faster in some ways.
Almost exactly the same.
But I mean, it's not significantly lighter. It's not a better screen. It's not a bigger, you know, it's not better, thinner enough to warrant upgrading from the old iPad, I think. But if you're looking for a tablet and you haven't bought an iPad yet, it is an awesome, awesome first tablet. So, neat thing about the cover is, of course, that it's magnetic. So you close it, the iPad turns on and off when you move the cover away and back. That's pretty neat. And you can fold it into a stand as well. So, of course, you know, you can get one of two ways, vertical or horizontal.
Okay, that's horizontal.
I mean, that's, well, yeah, perpendicularly, and then it'll hold up as well for like sitting on an iPad on your lap or something like that. I actually found this pretty useful. The other thing I find is pretty useful.
In the portrait position?
Well,
stand up?
it doesn't. It's not. It doesn't. I mean, it kind of does, but it's not. It's too flat. But the thing that I found is it's actually really good for one-handed holding because you can hold it like this. It gives you something to grip onto.
The magnets do not slip off.
And the magnets are sturdy enough that I haven't dropped it yet.
How easy is it to apply this?
Well, basically, there you go. You just get it in the general vicinity. It sticks right on. This is really dead simple and stupid, but it's a nice piece of design. It's a little bit expensive.
Good idea?
That is unwise.
I'm gonna.
If you drop that, that becomes your iPad. Congratulations.
Shaking more. Hey, these are strong
Keep shaking.
magnets.
Do it. Knock it. There you go. So you have to work it pretty hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found it a little bit difficult, even holding onto the case primarily to knock it loose. The other big thing, is of course live HDMI feed.
Ooh, again, the accessories are the most exciting part of this iPad 2 launch.
So you should, if I'm doing this right now, be able to see live feed. I don't know if we've got it in the control room. Those guys will tell me.
There it goes.
There we go. So this is live feed. It's mirrored. I'm seeing exactly the same thing on the face of the iPad. I don't know if you can see that, but you know, I browse. People do things. Oh, I think I got knocked out. Sorry about that, guys. So yeah, basically you can play stuff on your TV, which is kind of cool. It's more cool for us because of the stuff that we do for a living.
Yep.
But you know, for normal people, it's pretty exciting. And let's just jump right into it and show off some of the new software stuff. So, of course, the big change. The big addition.
It's dual-core processor.
Dual-core processor, 512 megabytes of memory has been confirmed through multiple sources now, including a take-apart. 2 cameras. So let's see. We'll show front-facing camera and rear-facing camera right now. Look, it's the studio. Oh, maybe that's
not really showing.
Okay, so we lose feed occasionally. Good to know. But basically, you can see it's a 720. Oh, there it is. Hello, it's Norman Chan. He's kind of blown out.
Pretty crappy camera.
It feels very similar to the camera on the iPod Touch. Oh wait, that's me. Hi.
There's a front-facing VGA camera.
Yeah, it's not an awesome camera.
Show a photo booth.
Photo booth is kind of exciting. Here, let's take some photographs.
Kind of exciting.
I mean,
wow.
Wow, yeah.
There goes filters that I would never ever use, like twirl and squeeze.
Don't you want to see X-rays of us? Yeah, look at that.
Oh man, that's racist.
Yes, that is completely racist, actually. There are other third-party apps that take advantage of the stuff already being built. So, for example, IncrediBooth, which has been around for a long time for iPhone and iPod Touch, has exactly the same thing.
Using the camera. Okay, we've had enough of that.
4 shots, Norm. Always take 4 shots. We'll post those on the internet later. Basically,
do you see yourself using the camera?
I don't ever think I'm going to use the camera, realistically. I mean, I'll use the FaceTime camera probably. We can try that now if you want to give that a swirl.
Yeah, let's do some FaceTime.
You want to FaceTime it up. So this is an iPad to iPad FaceTime. Don't show the screen here because it has Norm's phone number on it.
So do I need to have FaceTime launched on
I don't
this
think
iPad?
so.
Okay.
It seems like no.
Just have it on the home screen. And hey, look, I'm getting a call
Hey, you're
from Will
getting a
Smith.
FaceTime from Will Smith.
I'm answering it.
Yeah, you can show it now. Hey, Norm, how you doing?
Hi.
Whoa, look at me.
Getting some feedback.
You got a black screen. I'm going to plug it back in again.
I see you.
Can you rotate horizontally, Norm?
I can. There it goes.
Are you getting feed? Oh, there we go. We've got feed now. So my finger's over the camera someplace, it seems.
Yep. And you know, with the black bezel, I can't see where the camera is really. So it's really easy just to block it.
Oh, to put your thumb over it? Yeah, that's not good. Oh, so yeah, it's hard to keep the cable plugged in while we're moving the device around, unfortunately. It should, the video feed will pop in and out.
I just see beard.
Yeah, there's a lot of beard there. Oh, there we go, we've got it back. So yeah, it's, I'm having to hold the cable in pretty hard here, but I mean, FaceTime's FaceTime. The bitrate still looks pretty shitty, even though we're 3 inches away from each other.
Talk to the audience.
Yes, hello. Hold on, can you hold that up? Hold that up to your face. Turn it around. Lower, lower, that's higher. To the left, up. Yeah, it's Norm Vision. Okay,
This is
I don't know
really
what
weird.
that is, that was weird. So I'm killing FaceTime now because this is going on too long. Other stuff? Okay, so the feed keeps conking in and out.
One thing I also noticed is that on the headphone jack,
Because of the beveled bezel?
yeah, I'm going to try to show this on the RoboCam here. If I plug in headphones, it actually sticks out just a little bit.
So it's kind of like the iPhone 3G was, where you have
can see.
a fairly significant amount of headphones still dangling out. It works fine though.
It still works.
all
Microphone
that.
still works, but it's a little unnerving right here that there's this bit of the
So
headphone
you're saying if
sticking
you're
out.
obsessive compulsive, that's going to
Yes,
drive
that's
you
gonna bother
mildly
me.
crazy. Let's show. So let's see. It's 3 ounces lighter. We weighed it this morning
So
compared to the old one.
If you lift it up, it does immediately feel a little lighter if you've handled the iPad 1 before significantly, but it really is the shape that's the biggest difference.
So this is iPad 2. This is iPad 1. You can see how much thicker. At the thinnest part of the iPad 1, it seems to be about the same thickness as the iPad 2.
Yeah, if we split up just a little bit, I don't know how easy it is to see.
Keep tilting. Yeah, there you go. See, so where all the battery is in the iPad 1, it's much flatter. The iFixit guys did a teardown this weekend. Basically, the big thing that's changed is that the bezel isn't held on with clips anymore. It's just glued on. So like the original iPhone was with the screen, or sorry, with the 3G was with the screen actually glued onto the glass. I guess that was the original iPhone. This is the same way, and then this piece of glass is glued on into the frame.
And one thing I've actually noticed just this morning opening this this iPad 2 is I could actually see some of the glue. You're not going to be able to see it really, but you can see some of the shininess of the glue along the edges to where they stuck the glass
And there's
on.
some general unevenness around the edge as well. But there's that rubber gasket that was present in the iPad 1 that was between the metal edge and the plastic and the screen.
That is
it's not there.
no longer there.
You don't really see it anymore. So I used the white one this weekend, which was very interesting. It's still too heavy for one-handed, like laying in bed. You almost hit me in the face with that one. That would really leave a mark. It's a little too heavy to lay in bed one-handed and read. Kind of tilted back, I found.
Did it fall on your face?
Didn't fall. I fell asleep with it last night, but it went sideways, so I dodged a bullet there. The white bezel, not as offensive as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, it's more like an ivory color.
Yeah.
It's not shiny white.
Well, and the thing is, when you're reading a book, you have the white background on the page. I'm going to turn the brightness up some here. But it doesn't actually jump out as much as I thought it was going to. So you still have the kind of black edge around the frame, but it looks pretty good. I mean, and it doesn't really leap out at you as much as I was expecting it to. So, I mean, it's
and it does really complement the silver on the back. So
yeah, well, the silver is almost a little white.
Yeah, exactly.
So it looks pretty good. Let's
do
see what
some,
other stuff should we
speed-
talk about?
let's do
You want to do
some speed
speed comparisons? Okay.
Yeah.
So this is my iPad 1. This is a 64. They're all the same speed, but 64 gig 3G. I'm going to crank up the brightness some here.
You probably should do the lock screen.
I'm going to as soon as I. Here.
There you go.
Okay. So get it. Can you get it?
Yep.
Okay. So browser. You want to start with the browser?
Yeah. Let's go. Let's go. These two right next to each other. Okay. browser, and let's both go to.
What do you want? Tested?
Yeah.
Say when.
Hold on.
Apparently, my wife was using this. Here, there's a bookmark right here.
There we go. Ready, set. Spell correctly. Go.
This is super scientific.
Wow, your iPad is super
when you
slow.
hit it upside down, then you miss. Julian Michaels looks pretty good though. Yeah.
Still loading.
Really wish I'd opened that iPad before we started the live stream.
So here's something that we noticed with the extra 256
That's probably a
megs of
cache
RAM.
thing too, because I've been using Tested on the iPad over here,
Yes.
not so much over
So
there.
they're both fully loaded, okay? And if you look at the scroll, if you look on the original iPad, which is this one,
right,
you get the checkerboard.
You don't see the checkerboard as much, but it is still present on the new one.
Yes, there is still some checkerboard, but it is much more noticeable on the old one. And here's where I found the biggest speed increase. If you hit the, oh, I hit that one too fast. If you hit the new tab window, it goes really fast. So, for example,
I wonder how much of this is them tweaking and toning the UI, and how much of it is the, yeah, it's markedly faster to open a new page.
much faster. But the thing is, with iOS 4.3, there actually is some page caching.
Yes.
In Safari. So if you have the iPad 1 and you have 4.3, you're going to be able to have multiple pages stored in the cache anyway.
Absolutely. I'm loading up SunSpider here so we
right.
can see how that does live.
And let's look at some games, actually.
Yeah, do the Plants vs. Zombie load time. So do some load time tests, because that's...
I don't have Plants vs. Zombies on this one.
Yeah, you do. That's mine.
No, this is the...
Oh, that's the white blank one. Okay, here. Plants vs. Zombies is over here. So, I don't know.
Are you ready? PVZ?
I'm looking for it.
Search is the best.
Yeah, you're right. I regret my decisions. PVZ. Yeah.
You click yours just
I clicked mine a
little,
split second before the old one.
That is done. And...
Yeah, it's significantly faster on loads. You don't really notice it in games as much, I find. Although there are a few... I haven't played on either of these iPads, clearly.
Let's try Infinity Blade.
Yeah, Infinity Blade's a good one as well. So let's fire that up. Can you give me a text window here, Norm?
Typing upside down is fun. Right?
No. Sorry.
And there you go. Ready?
Yeah. So significantly faster.
And also the aliasing is a little better on the new iPad too.
Well, it seems like they might be doing some anti-aliasing or something like that,
yeah.
even on older games.
So the visual quality is just a little better, and you can tell it's already much faster in loading.
Yeah, we'll be in the game, I
iPad
think,
too.
before we get to the press
And if you
start
plug
here.
in with HDMI, actually it goes all the way through the TV. So
Yeah, we can actually do that right now if we want.
well, let's look at the actual game.
That's crazy, looking at the actual game.
Man, this is so much faster. I don't know if you have the same points. No.
Oh, hey, I can buy a new content pack. They're the same spot. Here, fast forward.
Yeah, you can kind of tell already on the iPad 2, there is some anti-aliasing going on that you did not get with the iPad 1. I don't know if you can.
Yeah, let's pipe it into the feed.
Yeah.
We'll show people. And some of these apps were updated already. There's a handful of apps that are in the App Store now that are actually updated. Most are still iPad 1 compatible, but I mean, they work fine. Oh. That is really loud. I'm turning it down a little bit. Oh, I better dodge. Yeah. Look at that dodging. So one thing that I discovered this weekend that always annoys me about iOS is that it doesn't actually take your save games away with you when you go to a new device or anything like that. So all of my Plants vs. Zombies saves, all of my Infinity, I want to say Infinity Blade.
Yep.
Sorry, Infinity Blade saves, all gone, which meant I had to start from scratch, which was kind of a bummer. So, you know, the games look good. Everything loads faster. Let's see some YouTube
loads
stuff.
faster. Here, I'm going to show you the speaker. So I'm going to play just using the speaker on the back. It's a mono
on the
speaker
bottom.
right
Yeah.
at the bottom there, where my thumb is. But I'm just going to play some YouTube. I have it max audio right now. Let's see if you can hear it.
You doing Charlie bit my finger? Wow. So I think the speaker's fine.
I think it's fine.
I mean,
it's not super great.
It's not as it's both harder and easier to block than the last one, which I know sounds crazy, but you get used to not holding it in the bottom right hand corner.
That's actually pretty loud.
It's not bad. I think the quality at the high volume is better than the old one. So.
And I was trying to block it too, and it went through.
Well, I mean, you have to hold it in a different place.
Yeah,
is the
you
thing.
have to like grip like that.
Right, you never hold it like that before. What other stuff is new? I mean, we've been through FaceTime. We've shown.
Yeah, that's the thing. There really isn't.
I mean,
all that much
let's
that's
load up
new.
GarageBand.
Oh yeah,
I put GarageBand on here.
iMovie and GarageBand.
Yeah.
These are apps.
So, and then we'll show the Chloe video. Okay, so GarageBand. I have this loaded up here. I'm going to set it on the table. I made some music yesterday, despite the fact that I'm not a musician. So going in here, a bunch of different instruments available. You can guitar amp, you can do an audio recorder, you can sample. Or, I picked the smart bass.
We'll play some bass.
I don't know if you guys are hearing this. We can't hear it, it seems. But basically the way this works is you tell it what chord you want to play, and then you pluck the strings, and it just kind of does it for you. The iPad volume might be down, and I just turned it off.
Nope, there you go. Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
There you go.
Strum Chan.
Wow, that's a pretty weak bass.
Well, the thing is, you can change the bass that you have, right? So you can do like a crazy, rock and roll bass or whatever. And since it's the bass, then I guess you have to hold the string down. I don't understand. I'm not musical enough to know that. But you can also do guitar, and it works more like you might. I don't know if you guys are getting audio out of here. So the way this works.
Just play the song.
Yeah, the way this works is you can. And then you record your samples, and then you can play them back, and you can build loops and stuff like this out of these. So you can theoretically, create music. I don't understand how that works because I'm not that musician guy. We're just now getting to the part where I had been strumming, it seems. So it's just playing back what I just strummed a minute ago. And you can go in and move this stuff around. I'm not the right person to judge whether this is a useful device or not, but it seems kind of neat.
Yeah, someone more industrious could have a lot of fun with this.
Yeah, or somebody with music theory training.
And it says that it's still a GarageBand recorder?
So it stops. It records for a couple seconds, and then it'll cut out at the end. I think it's as it's saving in the background. We also have iMovie.
Yeah, iMovie. Now this is an iMovie for iPad.
Yes.
Ooh.
So I'm going to start a new project.
This is new.
Yes. I'm going to go up here to Insert Media. And I shot some video the other day.
Ooh.
Actually, I don't have it here because I shot it with my iPhone. So this is going to be a much worse demo than I initially thought it was going to be. Let's do some camera stuff. I think we can Ken Burns this up. Wow, that's a terrifying picture. So anyway, I mean, this works just like the old movie, but now there's a preview area up on the top, which is really, really useful for, I mean, you've edited movies on the iPhone. It doesn't work very well. But you can go through here and add video, music, the whole 9 yards. Again, I foolishly don't have video
multiple
here.
Audio tracks.
Yes, and they even have some stock music here, so if you want to...
modern.
Look, and then I'm going to...
do some effects.
Title style. I don't want to do any titles. Where? I couldn't find effects. I don't think there are effects in this, actually. That's just music. I'm going to play now. You can record a voiceover as well. So, yeah.
That's not winning any Oscars.
No, that's best short film right there.
All right.
So I think that gives us the full kind of, I mean, I don't think we missed anything important.
No.
If you want to do a size comparison to the Zoom, that's probably not a bad idea. So we're going to have 3 things here, the old iPad, the Zoom, and the new iPad in the middle. It's an iSandwich. So, I mean, the Zoom is significantly thicker.
Zoom's the bottom bitch.
Yeah, well, top, actually. Oh, that was, I don't even know what that was. So we're going to roll right now. Well, Chloe last year famously tested the iPad, and like 2 million people saw that on YouTube. She tested the iPad 2 this weekend.
Her opinion's the only opinion you need.
What do you think? What do you think she felt about it? Do you think she liked it?
I think she was down on it.
You think she's anti-iPad 2? Can we roll the clip and we'll see how it turns out? Chloe, come here. Do you want to play with the new iPad? Say hello. Chloe, it's okay. Be quiet. You got the iPad case all slobbery. What do you have to say about that? Yes, that's what I thought. Do you like the white iPad? Do you like Angry Birds? Yeah. Chloe, would you rather play with the iPad or with your ball? Quiet, quiet, quiet. Oh, yeah, that's a good girl. Okay, so that's Chloe testing the iPad.
Oh, cute. Man, you just sold like 10 iPads.
Yeah,
video.
or corgis maybe, as the case may be. So we're going to take some questions from the audience. I can never remember the phone number, as everybody is aware now. It's 415-50-something. 33 something.
If you've seen us before,
Possibly
you know
it can
the
come
number.
up at the bottom here in a second, and I'll be able to repeat it then.
There you go.
There we go. 415-508-3975, or Skype us at Whiskey Media. Vinny's on the line to take your calls right now, and we'll be answering questions all through the thing. I realized we did forget something.
What did we forget?
Well, now I can't remember what it was that we forgot. So this is going really well so far. The orientation lock is back.
Yeah, that's a 4.3 iOS 4.3 thing. So my big thing is that I have the iPad 1 upgraded to 4.3, and I think there are enough upgrades in just that software update that I don't need the iPad 2 just yet.
It's not as big an update as 4.2 was for iPad owners when you got multitasking and all that kind of stuff added in. But it is, like, if you're an iPad 1 owner, I would not feel super compelled to go out, sell your iPad 1, get a new one. It's not a vital upgrade. I mean,
I wouldn't feel like my iPad 1 was old and busted.
Hey, Norm, we have Daniel from Florida on the line.
Hi, Daniel.
Hey, Daniel, how you doing? We can't hear Daniel. Daniel, are you there? We can't hear you. Hello, I still can't hear Daniel. We'll come back to Daniel in just a sec. One thing that we did forget to talk about is the AirTunes, home play sharing and AirTunes. So, of course you can stream from the iOS devices. You've been able to do that for a while.
Yes. Again, this is an iOS 4.3 feature.
This is an iOS 4.3 feature, but now you can actually play content and I'm not going to be able to play it here because it's actually stream. Oh, there's Daniel. Daniel, are you there? Can you hear me?
Hi.
Nope, can't hear me. I hope you guys can't hear Daniel either. So in addition, hello? Hey, Daniel, are you there? I don't think Daniel can hear me, guys.
Stay on the line.
Hear Will and Norm at all.
Daniel cannot hear Will and Norm
We
at
can
all,
hear
but he's on the
him.
line, so like I said, we'll come back to him in a sec.
So, home sharing.
Home sharing. If you have your iTunes library shared via home sharing, then you can actually play content that's stored on the Mac or PC, whatever you use iTunes on, across the Wi-Fi network in your house. So, for example,
It's like reverse AirPlay.
yeah. So to do this, you go into the normal scrolling window, and I have some music loaded up on here as well. But my Mac has a whole lot more music on it as well. So here's a shared library. This works just using home sharing,
Yep,
same
turn
as
on home
anything
sharing
else.
on iTunes, and enable it on iTunes here.
And this is my library on the machine over across the way. I can play music. You can do video. You can see all the normal stuff that you normally do. It works really well. I was using this all weekend. I didn't actually put any media on this at all until this morning.
Yeah. This
and
makes getting
didn't
the
really
16 gigabyte Wi-Fi version very compelling.
Yeah.
Hey, you're 3 months too late or 9 months too early.
That is. You're good at math, Jim.
Yeah, that's racist.
Exactly. You can do the same thing with video, as I said before. We don't have an HDCP stripper set up on this right now, so that means we won't be able to play.
But I can testify
HDCP
video
stuff.
did work fine over the Wi-Fi.
Here we can play the iPad video because it doesn't have HDCP. So see, and it'll start playing. This is coming from my computer.
Yeah, and
across
actually
the
when you do
miracle
this,
of Wi-Fi.
you don't see it on the iPad. You only see it
On this TV.
On the TV, which
Yeah.
is different because like if you plug it in and you play Infinity Blade or any other game, you get both.
You get mirroring.
Yeah, you get actual mirroring. But if it's the video app, you only get one.
Exactly. So that's good. The AirPlay stuff is the same as it was before. All the other apps work more or less exactly the same. I mean, Netflix,
Yeah.
all the stuff that we've tested. I haven't found anything that was crazy fast compared to old iPhone. But the photos stuff is also, this is one of the places you do see a fairly significant speed up. So if you want to load photos over here, we can do a comparison side by side here.
Just hitting that home button
right here.
already feels slow. Yeah, look at that.
So if you look, the scrolling is a lot faster. The zoom in and zoom out, tapping to get in and see individual photos is significantly faster. Yeah. I mean, it's just a smoother experience. But it's not smooth enough to justify spending $600 to replace your existing iPad 1. If you, like I said, if you want to get an iPad 2, you haven't had a tablet. It's a great thing to buy. It seems like is my early impression. And of course, all the old stuff comes. So you can, if you're synced with iPhoto. Have you ever synced your iPad with iPhoto with a Mac, or do you do it with your PC, Norm?
PC.
So if you sync with an iPhoto, with iPhoto on a Mac, then you actually get all sorts of cool faces and event stuff that I didn't realize even existed until I hooked up to my MacBook Pro earlier this year. So that
recognition.
was very exciting. Do we have what's our status on Daniel? Is he still there? We're still working on technical difficulties. So let's see, what else should we look at, Norm? I think that's all the new stuff.
Pretty much that's it.
Let's see. Well, we can show the new settings because there are a few new settings. The location services stuff is a little bit different in iOS 4.3. I don't know if we
can show that on the screen.
Switch over to the camera here. There we go. I mean, this has been around for a long time. I guess it looks different on the iPad, the one I've used, because I've been using a 3G one. So I may not be as familiar with that when I think about it. FaceTime settings. Oops, don't want to show that stuff. Making horrible mistakes here left and right. Basically, there's not a whole hell of a lot different.
None of the crazy multi-touch gesture stuff. That's going to come probably next version with the 5-finger swipe and the swipe up to get the menu. But you can actually hack that in with the developer version right now.
Yeah. So I'm hearing that Daniel's back on the line. Daniel, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Hey, Daniel. Now we can't hear you though. Oh, wait, hold on. There we go. Perfect.
Hi, Daniel.
Beautiful. How you doing, Daniel?
Hi.
Thanks
I'm doing good.
Thanks for calling. Sorry about the technical difficulties. What's your question, sir?
I know Norm likes the pitch to zoom test for testing a new device.
Yep.
I was wondering, how well can the iPad 2 run Mass Effect 2?
Not well at all.
Not well at all unless you're doing on live.
Yeah, and I don't think you can play it then. Yeah, it's not that much of a gaming device. Thanks for your call, Daniel.
All right, thank you.
Cheers, dude. And of course, we have the phone lines are still open. It's 415-508-3975. We'll be taking questions until people stop calling, I guess.
Yeah.
Or at least an hour or so. What other stuff should we show? Let's see
Yeah, thanks, Eddie.
What else you got, Norm? Anything exciting?
Nope. Web browsing is very nice. I did run in instances where I did have to reload some pages, but for the most part, you can load up like
It's
5, 6, or 7
it keeps
pages.
it in the background
And
now.
you will have them in cache. So I'm going to try to load up 5 or 6, 7 pages.
So load up a bunch of questions there, or load up a bunch of pages there, and we will do. We'll keep answering questions. Yeah, exactly. I hope the phone lines are buzzing. So, how are you feeling about your decision to not buy an iPad 2, Norm?
Feeling pretty good.
Feeling good?
I'm feeling pretty good. Pretty happy with my old iPad. My old iPad, I mean, it's only 1 year old.
It's a year old.
It's
and busted.
Works great.
Do you feel inadequate?
Nope.
I mean, this one's white.
Wow.
It's pretty cool, right?
Wow, that's a colorist thing.
Yeah, exactly. So do we have any more calls coming in, guys? Oh, we've got another one queued up. Maybe we can take some questions from the chat, perhaps?
Do the magnets mess up anything, computery?
Oh, so Anna is asking if the magnets mess up anything computery. I mean, this was in my laptop next to my MacBook Pro this morning. Didn't experience any problems there. I think that the magnets, even though they are like rare earth magnets that are pretty strong, probably aren't strong enough to actually impact anything, to make anything not work. Jeff from Atlanta's on the line. Jeff, go ahead.
Hi, Jeff.
Hey, Jeff, are you there? Can you hear us? Oh, hey, how you doing, dude?
All right.
Got any questions? What's the word?
So how does Ryan think about iPad 2?
Ryan's not here right now, so we don't know what he thinks about iPad 2.
He just got an iPad 1, so
yeah.
I think he's pretty happy with his purchase.
Yeah, he bought a used iPad
discount.
1 last Friday at last Wednesday at a spectacular discount. Thanks for your call, though, dude. So anyway, I guess we'll keep taking questions. Maybe if there's anything else coming from the chat.
Has Norm licked it yet?
Norm, have you looked at the iPad 2 yet?
Actually.
Wow.
I want to save that for the very end.
Okay, that's the exciting conclusion, I guess.
Yeah.
Does the old iPad work with the new HDMI adapter?
Does the old iPad work with the new HDMI adapter?
Very good question.
It does work, but it doesn't mirror. So that's something that has to change on the chipset, on the graphics chipset level. So I'm plugging it in right now. You can see what happens. Basically, it's not going to do anything unless we're playing video on the iPad, at which point it should start playing, although it seems to have wigged out here now. This old, slow iPad. I don't know what's going on.
So you have this plugged in.
I have this plugged in.
It will.
We're going to play video. Yeah.
Something that's not copy protected.
Well, this is all copy protected, probably. Let's see. Let's see if this works. So yeah, it's playing that video to the TV right now, supposedly. Yeah.
There it goes. Yeah.
Oh, it's copy protected. Awesome. So this has HDCP protection, so it won't actually play through the HDMI port. If I have something here that's not, I don't know if I do or not, but we shall see in a moment. Hey, Dennis from the Ukraine is on the line. Dennis, what's going on? What's your question?
My question is, guys, I'm curious as to what you think about the iPad 2 compared to the Motorola Zoom. Like your initial impressions of which one is better and which one you think are going to stick to actually using.
That's a great question, Dennis. Thanks for your call. What are you thinking, Norm?
I think pretty much
you've used the Zoom more than anybody else in the office.
I like the Zoom a lot, and I love the email client on it, and I love tab web browsing. iPad 2 really doesn't change any of my opinions between this versus the iPad 1.
Yeah,
I think the cameras aren't worthy enough on the iPad 2. If that's a big thing for you, if you want to shoot pictures, 5 megapixels on the Zoom is going to be much better than the 960 by 720.
Essentially 720p still cam.
But it is definitely thinner and lighter, iPad 2. So if that's a big concern, then that's the really only big change.
I mean, and the fundamental thing is the portrait versus landscape, right? I mean, that seems to be the really defining characteristic of each of these devices.
The Zoom is a landscape, pretty much not landscape only, but it really is optimized for landscape use, both in the software and the physical design. And the iPad can go both ways, but really works well with portrait.
Yeah. We have Tyler from Orange County on the line. Tyler, can you hear us?
I can hear. Can you hear me?
Hey, yeah, you sound great, Tyler. How you doing? What's your question, sir?
Not too shabby. Mine's more of a general kind of usability question. Like, I find myself kind of being between computers. Like, I'm at a computer pretty much all the time at home and at work. Like, really, where are you finding? I mean, it seems like you guys are in a similar situation. Where are you guys finding the most amount of use out of the iPad in your day-to-day life?
And tablets in general, right?
I guess it could be applied more to tablets. Yeah.
It's a great question. Thank you, sir. I find myself using mine places that I used to use a laptop. So sitting on the couch at home, sitting first thing in the morning,
couch and bed.
On the train sometimes. Do you use yours on the train?
I never break out a tablet on the train. Yeah.
Well, because it's too crowded usually, right?
Too crowded, and I have no reception.
But yeah, I mean, it used to be that I'd sit on the couch with a laptop, and I'd kind of get the Bernie legs and have to use the laptop, the leg guard thing. And I don't do that anymore. So I'm pretty much primarily using the iPad on the couch, and it slots into those extra times. It's the first thing I look at in the morning, the last thing I look at night. It looks like we might have a question from the chat. Thanks for your call, Dennis. Anna?
If this version isn't that different, when do you think Apple's going to make a drastic change?
So if this version isn't that different, when do we think Apple's going to make a drastic change? I would guess that it'll be next year's model.
Next March, next February.
I mean, it seems like there's been a lot of rumor going around about iPad changing from a springtime launch to a fall launch. We don't think that makes a lot of sense for a lot of reasons, but education being one of them. Apple is clearly using this to get into the education market.
And the time to release is early, late. Get mass production out by late summer so people can buy for the fall.
Well, and the other thing is this is selling a lot into corporate now. So, just talking to the guy at the Apple Store on Friday, he said he was getting orders for hundreds and hundreds of iPad 2s from corporate customers. They don't care about the holiday season. They're going to push this out in the springtime.
And Apple has said 2011 is the year of the iPad 2.
Yeah.
So they're not going to release an iPad 3 and call
that
this
was the message.
Of the iPad 2.
So I think we have Nathan from Florida on the line. Nathan, are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, Nathan. How you doing? What's your question, sir?
Hey, I was wondering. Well, I can hear myself.
Sorry about that. Go ahead. You're good.
Well, since the iPhone 4 came out to Verizon, do you think the new iPad will ever be on another phone network besides AT&T?
Oh, it's on Verizon today.
Yeah, they're actually,
thanks for your call.
Yeah, thanks for the call. It's actually on AT&T and Verizon.
Yeah.
If you go into the store, you have to let them know whether you want the Wi-Fi or the 3G version, what capacity, and if you want the 3G version, whether you want the AT&T or the Verizon ones. It's all sold out right now, so it really doesn't matter.
One of the interesting things I found was it's really hard, even for the people at the store, to tell which is which and which.
Yeah, based on the box.
Yeah, you have to look at the box, and the 3G one says with SIM card or without to tell the difference between the Verizon model and the AT&T model.
AT&T is obviously the one with the SIM card.
Other thing is cases. We have two kinds of cases here. You can't tell the difference between these. A black polyurethane. This is the polyurethane. This one's orange, obviously, but this one's black leather. I couldn't figure out how to tell the difference between these in the store, except by looking at the price.
See, the polyurethane actually does feel kind of matte. It's not
I like
hard
it, actually.
plastic. If you tap it, I mean,
I don't think it's going to scratch or scuff or
scratch it up. The leather one, you have the leather texture. They're both really thin, same exact thickness. I don't think this is worth $70.
No.
But this is neat enough that $40, you could probably justify that.
I would pay $40 for this. Let's see what else. I think we have Matt from Santa Barbara on the line. Matt, are you there?
How's it going, guys?
Doing good, man. How about yourself?
Pretty good. I had a question about the new.
Oh, did we lose you?
4 and 5 finger gestures that were in 4.3.
Okay. The 4 and 5 finger gestures in 4.3. Are they in?
They're not.
They're not
here yet.
I think they're not actually in the.
Use Xcode and UX developer version. You can activate them. I actually haven't tried it yet, but apparently, if you swipe 3 fingers up, you will get the pop-up menu, and you can.
Which pop-up menu? Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah. So. Oh, go ahead.
I was wondering what you guys thought about that, because I figured just as an iPhone user, I usually hold my phone with one hand, so those kind of gestures seem like a horrible idea to me. So I was wondering what you guys might think of those.
Well, thanks for your call.
I think as long as I don't get rid of the button, it'll be fine. Having used something like the BlackBerry Playbook, which is all gesture-based, I really like having the option at least, because it's something, if you enable right now, it's a toggle. You can turn it off or on, but I really like having the option to go use gestures to activate apps and switch between apps.
Yeah, I think adding more options isn't a bad thing. I think the place Apple gets in trouble is when they add a new option and then take something else away, like when they switched this from orientation lock to mute, and then told people basically to pound sand if they didn't like that.
Yeah.
I think adding more gestures to the tablet OS makes a lot of sense. I think adding 5-finger gestures to the phone is like you said, it seems kind of goofy to me because you don't have screen space to run 5 fingers. Looks like we might have a question from Anna from folks in the chat. Anna?
A few people are asking if the white is distracting in the dark.
So people are asking if the white is distracting in the dark. This is the one I've actually been using at home for the last few days. I don't find it as bad as I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be very distracting. But one of the things I was showing people earlier is when you're reading a book, assuming you don't use the black background option for the book, then it's not actually that, it's not bright. It doesn't leap out. It's a little more noticeable when you're doing video, when you're watching video. But I find that the rooms that I'm in reading or watching movies or stuff at night aren't dark enough that you couldn't see the black bezel anyway. So it's less of an issue than I thought it was going to be.
And like earlier when we were using FaceTime, I found that actually on the black bezel, it was really easy to block the camera with my thumb, and that's something you probably won't do with the white one because the camera.
Yeah, you can really see it. I mean, it stands right out. We have Eric from Montreal on the line. Eric, go ahead.
Hi.
Hey, Eric.
Hey, Eric.
How's it going?
Doing okay, you?
Doing great. What's your question, sir?
Just wondering, I've been thinking more and more recently that I kind of would want to get just a tablet, I guess more an iPad. It seems to be the more useful one at this point.
Yeah.
Thinking that I would essentially only use it to sit on the couch and surf the net and check Twitter and Facebook while I'm like playing games or watching TV or something. Would I be better off just getting an aftermarket iPad 1 or actually investing the money into an iPad 2?
Oh, that's a great question. Thanks, Eric. What do you think, Norm?
All depends on what your budget is. Keep in mind, $500 is getting you a Wi-Fi 16 gig version of the iPad 2. If you can save $150 and maybe put that into 32 gigs, I think a 32 gig Wi-Fi iPad 1 refurbished or used, as long as it's in good condition, I don't think you're going to be displeased with it, especially if you don't have a tablet right now.
A lot of it depends on how you use it, too. If you're not planning on loading it up with a bunch of movies and stuff like that, especially with the ability on both the iPad 1 and the iPad 2 now to stream from your iTunes library across through the house, like I used to have 6 or 7 movies on my 64 gig 3G. I don't really feel the need to load it up with that many movies because I'm not traveling that much anymore. So anytime I'm in the house, I can watch whatever I want just across the ether. So I think it's less of a concern. You're probably a lot better off. I mean, if $500 is a bunch of money, then buy the refurb. If it's not, then buy the new one, I guess is what I would say. We have Donald from New Zealand on the line. Donald, go ahead. Oh, hey, Donald, can you hear me?
Hey, sorry if you guys answered this question already.
Oh, no, go ahead.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah.
Cool. Sorry if you guys answered this already, but I don't know, does Norm want an iPad 2 now? And how significant is the performance boost?
Thanks, Donald. We'll take your call. We'll answer your question now, I guess, off air.
No, I don't want an iPad 2.
Really? If somebody gave you an iPad 2, you would reject it?
If someone gave me an iPad 2,
I said, hey, Norm, here, have this white iPad 2.
Oh, thank you, Will.
Yeah.
I will take that iPad 2.
I thought you might.
I would not spend the money to buy the iPad 2, even if I could, even if the price difference was $200. If I sold my iPad 1 and got the iPad 2 for a $200 upgrade, I don't think it's worth the extra $200. That's money better spent on other things.
I literally had a gut check moment when I was in the store and I had a 64 gig 3G looking at me and I was like, wow, this is $1,000. I could buy a MacBook Air for this. Yeah. So I'm taking the 64 gig 3G back. I don't need it. I mean, I'm going to get a 32 gig.
I mean, a lot of people say immediately it feels so much thinner.
Yeah.
And it's true that holding the original iPad and the new iPad, you notice the difference, but whether that matters in long-term usage, I think if you're holding it for an hour, your arms will be tired no matter what.
Yeah, I mean, the new one's not light enough that you can lay in bed and read one-handed, which is what I was looking for. And that's my ultimate hope for wish in an iPad. Until they reach that point, I mean, or unless there's a significant hardware upgrade. The thing is, no one's going to be making apps that are iPad 2 only, with the exception of stuff that requires cameras. So FaceTime, GarageBand, or iMovie, those will be the apps that you won't be able to get right without having an iPad 2. Other than that, everything's going to continue working on the iPad 1 for the foreseeable future, at least. Looks like we might have a question from the chat. Anna, what's going on?
People want to see some comparisons between the old iPad and the new iPad. They want to see what it looks like when you open a browser, when you open pages.
Okay, so we can do that stuff again. Here we have 2 iPads side by side. This is the iPad 1 on the right, the iPad 2 on the left, and of course they're both oriented the wrong way. Let's fix that and lock.
Okay. Throw up the zoom.
So here we have browsers launching. Looks like we have one with chat open.
Click back.
Oh, back. Yeah, so, I mean, you get all the same stuff works. It's the same as it was before. It's a little bit smoother. It's a lot faster, but you still get the kind of weird blow-up text stuff happening. So it's not ideal. I mean, it's still not an awesome browser, is what I after spending a week with it this weekend.
It still leaves some stuff to be desired.
Yeah, it's still not as fast as I would want, and it's still not as featured as I would want. Not even counting the obvious omission of Flash support.
Ebook flipping?
I'm sorry?
Ebook, like Kindle?
Yeah.
Oh, let's okay. Let's so I don't know if I have a book loaded here. Here we go. These are two different books. I mean, ebook flipping is the same. I'm going to go to iBooks, actually, where we can see the page curl, if I have iBooks even installed on this one. Searching. Any other requests while we're going is good to hear. So this is a PDF of an instruction manual. That's funny. Open up Cooking for Geeks. So here we go. I'm not going to sync right now. Basically, you know, we have normal book stuff applies. The iPad 2 is a little bit faster. I don't even think it's really noticeable, especially if you turn off the kind of what I feel is the precious page animation. I don't like that at all. It's usually the first thing I turn off. So yeah, I mean, it's more or less the same, a little bit faster, not really noticeably.
Air video?
Oh, Air Video we can show? Well, actually, we can't show Air Video because Air Video works. I mean, it works just like it does on any other device. Well, I guess let's take a call. We have David from the UK on the line, Norm.
Hi, David.
Hey, Dave.
Hi, guys.
Hey, David. How you doing?
Hi, pretty good.
What's your question, sir?
I was wondering, the release in the US seems to have been pretty impressive. Like this comparable to the iPad 1. Do you think that us guys in the UK and Europe are going to have a pretty tough time getting one on day one?
Thanks for your call. Thanks for your call and your question. I really don't know. I mean, I think
yes.
I would say. I mean,
if the launch this weekend was any indication, I think there will be lines.
Yeah, if you want one, the good news is when I ordered mine online, it shipped on Sunday, so it's on the way here. It'll be here tomorrow. The one that I ordered online. Yeah. So it's not.
That's first come, first serve.
But that is first come, first serve. There were about 300 people in the line at the Chestnut Street store when I went. They turned people away who didn't actually get iPads on Friday. So, and I guess you know, if you want one, get in line. The thing is, it's not going to go anywhere. Just order it. It'll come 3 days later. You'll be fine. So I guess that does it for the live stream today. This has been the iPad 1. Of course, we'll have continuing iPad 2. Geez. We'll have continuing iPad 2 coverage on the site, and we'll post to the Chloe video momentarily, so you can send links to your friends. For Norman Chan, I'm Will Smith. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys later.